All right. So I think we're about to go live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another TNT Photon HD show. We will be reviewing a couple of good movies. We got my wonderful guest here, and my wonderful co-host and guest and friend and brother. What's that Insta install? Man, he just changed it to something else.
Yeah.
Install system kill virus.exe. So right now he's a he's a virus or rootkit
Hi,
for
everybody.
a
He's,
Windows computer. Then we got my wonderful longtime friend
I'm
from
malware.
Norway. Press M for animal. Darth M the animal. Martin Euthys. Here he is, the one that I always talk about, Mr. Mechanical. All your base are belong to us. Martin Euthys right here. Press M for animal. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a good show. We got a good show in store for you today. We're gonna be reviewing Castlevania. What's that? Castlevania Season 4, is that? Yeah, Castlevania Season 4, Yasuke, Love, Death, and Robots, and a couple of other films. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to bring you a good show. Martin, take it away. Tell them about yourself, because they probably forgot. Tell them about yourself, brother.
I'm working as an artist or like a freelance artist once in a while. We're also working on a book. I also have a Deviant Art channel or page called YouTube channel and Twitch and Deviant Art where I'm posting my artworks. Like I'm not going to show everything because that will take forever. But this is one I'm recently working on. Here, you can see that. And I also work on finished work like this.
Looks like a tattoo.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like that.
Is that a Pepe the Frog? Is that what that is?
Yeah, right?
There's always something a little bit serious here. I also do.
None of them have tits so far. Nice.
Yeah, right? No boobies this time.
Yeah, no. We know. Yeah, I'll work on that too. But I know.
No. Let me see. Bring that up a little bit further. Okay.
And also have one here I'm a little more actually proud of, and I might actually sooner or later print this out, make a limited edition this week.
What is that?
I don't know that, man.
Is that a dick? It looks kind of like a dick.
As long as
oh no, I
got
see.
like love handles in the front. I love it.
Looks like a bug
So
guy.
yeah, basically, I'm also like what you guys are seeing now is basically like this one was originally supposed to be a sticker, but it's probably going to be in the sketchbook because I'm working on the sketchbook and it takes time. I got many more sketches, but like I said, if I'm going to show all of them, we might as well just call this Press M for Animals showcase, basically.
I used to love show and tell as a kid. That was awesome.
Oh, you tell him.
That was my shit.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you want to see more of my work, I've got it on DeviantArt on Press M for Animal, the username down there. So just look it up. There are some, like I said, like these type of artworks, some serious ones. I can show you one real quick here. If you can see the Darth Vader one here.
The one on the wall, you drew that?
Yeah, but that was like in 2009.
That's nice.
And my little action figure here and some clothes for drying. So there we go. So yeah, if you're interested.
So Martin, what got you into drawing and Star Wars and so on and so forth? Were you always a fan? Were you introduced to it, or you just gravitated towards Star Wars, gravitated towards art? Like, what got you doing what you're doing, and what gave you the passion for doing like the art that you do, and what gave you the fondness for Star Wars, for being a fan of Star Wars and other lore, and 40K, of course?
Well, yeah, I can give into the drawing first part because it's like more like a type of career choice I made. I went to like art school like for 7 years in straight, if you're gonna count all the schools.
Right.
And but yeah, it started when I was like, of course, when you're little, all that. It started with the pirate ships, and then it started with little Pokemon creatures. I got a little fascinated by that. And I also was very inspired by this comic book called The Beetle Bailey, if you guys heard about that one.
Oh, yeah,
Of course. Love
Yeah.
Beetle Bailey.
And I tried to do a little bit like serious artwork, like with typical Spawn or like action heroes and stuff. But I realized that I didn't have that skill to draw these type of characters. So. But I also was very big inspiration of these SpongeBob and Ren and Stimpy cartoons and all that, and I thought like these are kind of more funnier, and I like to draw these type of characters to make people laugh. So that's where I got into a little bit more of that type of art style drawing. But I sometimes draw like serious artwork, like landscape and stuff, but that's very rarely. But most main focus are those type of cartoony like these type of artworks, if you know what I mean.
Oh, understood fully.
So that's
So all right, I wanted to ask you, do you find it all right, well, for one, I've always wanted to ask you, is the culture different in Norway in terms of acceptance of like a person being into sci-fi, video games, comic books, so on and so forth, and collectibles and stuff? Because over here it's pretty much like normalcy now in this modern day era. But like for like you growing up, being into all of this, were you sometimes kind of like shunned or like looked down upon? Are you looked down upon now that you're older? Has it, is it the same as it is over here in terms of over there?
It depends where you get born, basically, in Norway. So in my area, it's kind of like it's acceptable now in this day and age, but it's also like looked down upon because there are a lot of people. I used to work for, and I'm not going to say any company or anything, and no bad feelings to wonderful people there and all that. But they were like, when I was wearing, for example, let us say if I came there with a Dota T-shirt or a Star Wars T-shirt or Crash Bandicoot, whatever, they looked at me like, what the fuck are you? Are you 12? Like, so, and I also have people complaining about, or not maybe 100% complaining about, but they look at me like a weirdo, saying, "What the hell? You collecting? What do you playing with action figures and toys and reading comic books? What is wrong with you, man child?" Like, but it's more a little bit more acceptable now, but it still is like that. And I'm dealing with this not in daily basis, but some people. Let us say if they ask me a question, for example, let us say, "Hey, what do you like to do as a hobby?" And I like to collect action figures and Star Wars and all that, and they will look at me as a, poor human, So, but there's a little bit more acceptance now, like since once people gather around, because we have a place in Norway called. There's many conventions in Norway, but it's like a place in Norway what I go to once every year called Retro Spillmessen. It means like retro game con, basically. There's old people's. It's basically old school things, like from old school video games, old school toys, old school comic books, and guests and all that, and people gathering around. So there's a lot of people with that interest in Norway. So I think like the stereotype of like there's still old people who see it as a stupid, like a weird thing.
Right.
I'm not going to take everybody in the book, but it's been more accepted in Norway though. So maybe not in my area like 100%, but there are people just need to get it that it's no longer 1960 anymore.
Right. Okay. So,
like
Martin, you want to go with Press M for Animal? Which would you prefer that I call you? Press M for Animal or Martin?
Well, now you always said my name, so you're going to go for Martin. I don't.
Okay. Press M for Animal. You want to tell them how we met?
Yeah. Fun story. Actually, there was another friend of mine on Facebook who introduced me to you. And the first time when I met Danae, and it was like, funny story. And I'm just going to clarify one thing to the audience here. I am not a racist, okay? Just clarify that shit right now. So, anyway, I was like, first time when I met Danae, it was like, wow, he's into the same thing as me. And he actually likes stories. He actually knows the lore.
I was a black guy that likes Star Wars.
Yeah. So the funny thing is that I'm like, oh, okay, how am I gonna approach this? Okay. So Danae, you like, I assume you're a big fan of Lando, right? Like, no, not really. He's okay.
Hey, Kenny, he just kept wanting. He was like, so you like Lando, right? You like Lando, right?
Yeah.
you're like, what about Mace Windu? It was all the black characters from Star Wars.
Yeah, just mentioning all the black characters in Star Wars. So I'm like, yeah, they're cool, but I'm more into Dengar and Bounty Hunters. But so I was just like, oh, okay, but that's because I haven't hanged around that many.
Black people. Yeah. You can say it, Martin. You don't have
Come
to
on,
be
please
like
use an old school slur. Use an old school slur. I got no much. Come on, pick one.
Probably in Norway, it was probably like one black person at every 3 schools. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was like the stereotype. I'm not bullshitting.
one in the whole district and shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, let us just say that guy. I'm not going to say any name. Let us just say that
custodian. I know.
Code name Ink.
Name Ink. Let us say that code name Ink owns me $20 basically in total. Still, it's been 15 years. So yeah, no, that's how we met, and it's been I will say we've known each other for like 12 years now.
Yeah, like 12 years. Yep, 12 years. Mm-hmm.
And it's been a wonderful, amazing years, and I am still glad I've met this guy.
I would honestly say some of the best friends I've met have been offline and on Facebook. For Lynn Fan says, when I met him, he was called the Black Han Solo. That's what when she first met me, I was called the Black Han Solo. But yeah, man, I mean, like, you know, that's how I met all you guys. You guys are great. Yeah. I met Kenny off of Xbox.
Yeah, I met you as I was waging a one-man race war against a multitude of Mongols across the fucking Street Fighter lobby.
Yep. And I was like, oh man, I love this guy right here.
I was just launching racial slurs left and right after every other race you could name under the sun. It was just I missed those days.
Yeah, man. It's different on Xbox now.
I know.
Very different.
I know.
It's very different on Xbox now. Like, you wouldn't even really recognize it anymore. It's more like how can I say? Like
it's anything can happen basically, but it's like, that was fun, and then it's quite.
No, everybody gets offended now. Everybody, and you can like literally just like you can say like the wrong thing and like you're getting reported. And the way Xbox is now, like you can get reported and kicked off or knocked out of anything, like for anything, like you get locked up, all that stuff. It's weird ways how they discipline you now. Like you'll just look up and you notice that you can't talk or they'll just mute you, or like you go to stream, you can't do this, it's just crazy now. It's really crazy now, man.
I mean, shit was getting weird when I sold my Xbox in like 2016 now.
Right.
Like people stopped. It was like right when Xbox One came out, I know people stopped talking. That's when I kind of did like, motherfuckers ain't talking back and they're doing acting weird. So I guess they was in Miller Central motherfuckers right then. So that's when I kind of said, fuck it, I'll go to
it's completely different now. It's completely different. And I mean, it's to the point where it's so like, how can I say? People have gotten weirder online on online gaming. We're like, before, everybody was like, especially me, I was a social butterfly. I was bouncing everywhere, and I always do. But it's more so a thing where so like, if people do call me to the party, sometimes they just want to lock me in a party and don't want none of my friends to come in there. And I've been there. Yeah. And if you can't deal with the squad, you can't deal with me. It's just that simple. It's that simple. You can't deal with my squad. You can't. I'm not. Like, what had happened was when I switched to Xbox One, I started noticing that people were just becoming extremely antisocial. So it just,
I think the problem is that they don't go out too often to see how the real world is.
That was
like, I've had people invite me to rooms and all they do is just keep me in there. They They won't say nothing to me. They'll just keep me in a room or like.
Was there a specific game you noticed that in, like a specific time frame for you? Because when I noticed it was Mortal Kombat 10, motherfuckers I was playing like other games left and right, fighting games weren't fucking with me no more for some weird ass reason. That's when those shit motherfuckers was getting weird. So I could pin to that exact fucking moment.
Yeah,
motherfuckers ain't talking, being weird.
I remember I got a lot of.
I had one person on my Xbox I was talking to. It was like the prostitute I used to do a podcast with.
Right.
Yeah. No, she was literally a prostitute. I used to record a podcast with a prostitute, a fucking piece of garbage whore. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what she was, a piece of garbage whore. A backstabbing, two-faced, material stealing whore.
Yeah.
That's a way to put it.
I mean, you call them what they is. I mean, someone who has pornography movies out there, a whore by definition. It's a whore.
Oh man, we got our number one redhead in here. We got Jeffrey Cummings here. Look how Martin started looking around. Look, Martin and Jeffrey have how can I say they have like a love-hate relationship with each other. It's like they'll be friends for a minute, and then Martin will just be like.
Well, let me clarify one thing. I love Jeffrey, man, but there are moments with him. No, he's a good.
Put it like this, Kenny. He's like a white version of you. That's what he is. He's like a white version of you.
Oh, Jeffrey is awesome, though. He's awesome. But there are moments. There's moments I just want to. Yeah.
At one time, Kenny, he wanted to literally meet him in the forest with blunt and edged weapons and shit like that. He said, "No guns." He says, "I just want to hack each piece off of you."
I think
that's
I said
how bad Jeffrey got him.
I said to him once that I just want to strangle him so his eyes turning red or some shit like that. I don't know.
Nice.
Look, when Martin first started hanging around us, he was his English wasn't that good. By Jeffrey harassing him and like talking shit to him so much and shit like that, his English improved within less than a month. I shit you not. And when I noticed it started improving is when like he pissed Martin off so bad one time the way he said, "Fuck you, Jeff." Like he said, "Fuck you, Jeff." That was his first, like when he first started traversing into like very good or well-spoken English. But you know what? I don't want to get off the beaten path. Let's go through a couple of movie reviews, ladies and gentlemen. We got some good stuff in store for you today. We're going to review. First, we're going to start off with Castlevania. And I'm going to start off with Castlevania because I was just blown away with that film. It was that show, rather. And it was very, very good. Castlevania, which was made in 2017 through 2021. I honestly believe this is the last season because of the way it ended. But I will honestly say that Castlevania was a treat to behold. What would you say, Kenny? Did you watch Castlevania or not?
I actually watched, but I went into it extremely cautious because honestly, the third one made me not want to touch it no more. I had to ask motherfuckers who did watch it that I knew, hey, did this have any weirdo man-to-man side of me in it? And they said no, so I checked it out, and it was all. I liked it. It was good. Thankfully, there was none of that other shit. I was like, oh my god. I actually slapped my knee and did like a deep breath of this relief. Oh my god, this one doesn't have that much agenda in it, if any at all. So it was great. And the animation was good. It was thankfully it was brutal. There was lots of blood and all that. I'm still looking at Alucard kind of funny now. I'm like
yeah, but you know what? Not to cut you off, you do know within the Castlevania lore and all that vampire shit, they deal in
vampires are fruits. I know.
Yeah, exactly. They deal in making love to both men and women and all that other stuff. It's all about seduction and lore and blood with these dudes and control and power. Yeah. So even with the Castlevania lore, you read some of the lore that goes along. That's all they did was
that's why they're cast out of heaven, because it's sodomites. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Go ahead. Mark.
I will say the season 3 was a little bit like agenda pushing, with the real feminist shit and all that kind of thing. But that's just my opinion. I
mean, did they really have to have Alucard's little legs kicking up in the air, getting it missionary style? That's like the most effeminate way you can take a man's manhood away, because it's not from the back where you're like a dog, doggy. You're laying a man on his back and you're taking him like a woman straight up. That's complete emasculation, man. Yeah. That just made me go, really? With his little feet kicking in the air and everything, y'all have him moaning? Come on. That's not the guy I played a PS1 game with back in the day, man. It's haram. Haram.
Well, Alucard has, like, if you ever look at the artwork, and no, I'm not defending it.
I know, but I'm just saying, visually, being who I am, visually, the thing was just abominable to my eyes. That's all.
Yeah, me myself, it didn't bother me because I mean, like, I've read a lot of the Castlevania books and some of the lore within the games and everything like that.
The books get fruity too.
I will say this.
Low key, like it gets really fruity, don't it?
I will say this about season 3 though. I was not the biggest fan of season 3, but all made it. I was all happy about the ending because we got to see the tits of that vampire chick. So I'm not complaining.
But are they going to continue? Because they got spoiler.
I don't know. If they do, they're going to start up a whole new series. I think that's like they're going to do the Belmont line because the next one they should be doing if that's because this one was Trevor.
Yeah, they should do Simon Belmont.
Yeah, they're probably going to be doing Simon Belmont next. You know what I mean?
Oh, the one from the 80s cartoon. What's their cartoon? Captain N?
Yeah.
Yeah, him. Awesome.
Yeah, that was Simon.
That's him, right? That's the one they might do. Simon. Okay, cool.
Well, excuse me, Prince. No, that was Link.
I like that version of Link, boy. That was a Link they need to bring back. That's a whole.
That version of Simon Bell looked like a fucking douchebag, though.
He was so cool, though. He was just an awesome dude. Now he was like, oh man, that dude's cool. Talking that broad like that.
I will say this about Castlevania season 4 that it was actually a well written show actually or season because it was like it kind of introduced their version of Grim Reaper as well.
Right.
Or, spoiler alert, maybe. But it was like that. What was kind of weird about what I think about they did with the Grim Reaper, even though I don't see Grim Reaper as that type of character, but they made him very like, well, that's kind of fucked up, isn't it? Or but very cocky attitude, if you know what I mean.
Snidey, that kind of guy.
Yeah, but the entire show in general was actually good. But I think in that ending where Grim Reaper and Trevor Belmont is fighting against each other, I think actually it should have ended with Trevor Belmont actually dying there, in my opinion, because I think that would be more like a good character arc. Because Sci-Fi, was that her name again? Sci-Fi, what was the name of Trevor's wife? She already was pregnant. You know that magic. Woman, what was her name again?
You talking about Sophia?
Sophia, yeah.
Oh shit! I was calling her Sophia the whole damn time. Like I was going to say Sophia.
Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia. Yeah, because I think in my opinion, if I was gonna decide there, I think it would be good if Trevor died because it was like kind of like a sacrifice. You know what I mean? But maybe I like these type of characters though, like these sacrificing characters instead of just coming back like, oh, I'm all right. But the show in general was actually really good though. It tells a good story even about that guy with that magic guy user who wanted to try to find his wife back as well.
Oh yeah,
that's an actual dude from history. That's a dude from Saint Germain too. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy was.
I actually like how Saint Germain played everybody because really, to be honest, I really thought he was a good guy. Coming from season 3 into season 4, but then after a while, I was like, oh, this guy's a piece of scum. He actually turned out to be a piece of shit, and I like that.
Not just that, he was a simp for his power the whole way too.
Yeah.
Can I just point out one thing about that actor who played that guy, that magic guy user? I'm not sure if did you guys watch the English version or Japanese version?
English.
I don't really, honestly, I don't want to read. Honestly, I don't want to read anymore. When it comes to films and shit like that, I don't be wanting to read like that anymore. I'll read books, but I don't want to read anime anymore like I used to because a lot of the voiceovers or the dubbing is spot on now. We're like back in the day, it was a completely different. The dialogue would be completely different. We're like now it's spot on. You know,
yeah, but
sometimes the dubbing is better than the original Japanese subtitles.
Yeah, I was just going to point out, if you hear his audio in one of the first episodes in season 4,
Right.
that I'm not sure, but something tells me this was recorded, like the voice line was recorded at home, because his voice was very different compared to the other ones, because like during the room, if you know what I mean.
Right.
I just want to point that out as a little nitpicking. That's it, but.
All right. Well, over here we got Castlevania, and this was season 4, and creator was Warren Ellis, stars Richard Armitage, James Callis, Alejandro Reynoso, and more. All right, this right here, if you haven't watched the series or watched the series from season 1, you should watch it because it's absolutely amazing. I enjoyed it from beginning till end. Each season I enjoyed. Like season 2, I feel as though they were worried about getting another season. You can tell like the animation and artwork wasn't up to par as it was in season 3 and 4. Season 4 to me took my breath away. I hadn't watched good anime like that in quite a while, especially in modern day. Modern day, I haven't watched anything like that. I absolutely loved the characters. Hector, I loved Isaac. Isaac was that dude. Hector was that dude. He played everybody just to get what he wanted out of motherfuckers, even though he was being tortured. Isaac was a one-man killing machine bent on one focus, and that was destruction of everything and everybody. But in the end, he ended up having a change of heart. The artwork and animation in this show was absolutely stupendous. I love when it went into. I love when the animation and artwork gets so zany and crazy, yet you can still make sight of what's going on. Like especially when he fought Death, when they were fighting like the other ghouls and monsters that were invading the Alucard's, or aka Dracula's castle, and everything like that. The action was just through the roof. There was a lot of high flying, jumping, flipping. I love when they would take the pin, like when they do like the rough draft look, when like you'll see like the lines appear when they're into an intense action scene, and it would just go in black and white, so it looked like it's a rough draft or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, this was done very, very well. I love the way it ended.
They also did a very well job to try to, even in season 1, 2, and 3 and 4, that trying to get as many enemies from the Castlevania series into the show as well.
Yes, I agree. Because if you look at the characters within the show, all of those were the monsters that you would fight in the Nintendo version of Castlevania and in other games. The whip, and you saw he got the blessed throwing blade that he gets in the game and everything like that. So I love the way they held to the lore. They held to the story of Castlevania. This was great, and all of the actors fit their characters. I love Richard Armitage played a great Simon. Played a great Trevor Belmont. James Callis was Alucard. He fit his voice. Everybody fit their character. They did not. And I love what's his name. I do Combobo M. McCormick, who played Isaac. Amazing. I would suggest anyone, if you're a fan of vampires, if you're not in the anime or art or animation, anything like that, look past it, because this will still give you a great story while telling while this will give you a great story while like telling a wonderful tale. And it sticks to the Castlevania lore. That's why I enjoyed it. It had a few woke moments within a couple of seasons back, and like season 3 was their woke season, whereas though it seemed like season 4 they just took that away. They just took it away. And I saw what they were doing with the unification of the man and woman and everything like that. We know what that was alluding to, but if you watch it, it kind of like, let me just leave it alone. But it kind of like made it seem like look.
That shit made me cringe hard though at first when he was doing it.
No, I didn't, because in one of the Castlevania books, like years ago, they were trying to bring him back, and it had to be the combination of a man and a woman together.
I mean, to me, it was like it's Netflix being Netflix and what they do. I was like, oh, it's what they're doing again. It's more of that Netflix shit. That's what I was just thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, anything than fucking Curious, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Sure. I think it was great. I would definitely watch it. I would say I would watch it again, especially season 4. I like the big demon that they had that just started like Now the demon designs were absolutely great. I loved the Russian. That Russian
Oh, the vampire, yeah.
The Russian vampire was a beast. You understand what I'm saying?
I fight for the survival. I fight for fun.
Yeah, right. I forgot the name of the one who played his partner. What was his name?
Oh, the guy who he was basically the Grim Reaper, but yeah, like
he ended up turning out to be the Grim Reaper, which was absolutely amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, that took me by surprise. So I was like, "Whoa, that guy!" So
yeah. So I mean, as far as nerd pins, I would give Castlevania season 4. Castlevania season 4. I would give it a what? I would say like me myself. I would give it a 5 out of 5.
Wow, that's pretty high, dude.
Yeah.
Straight up, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I will probably give it, in my opinion, I think the show was good, but I would be like give it a 7.5 in my opinion.
We only got 5 pins. We only go up to 5.
That gave him extra.
Yep. 5 being the highest, bro. That's it. That's
it. Four then. 4.
4? All right, there you go. What about you, Kenny?
Basically, yeah, 4. I'd say 4.
4? Okay. Sounds good. So a 4 it is. Unanimous vote always outwins. I don't care if it's my show or whatever. So next up, we are going to talk about Love, Death, and Robots. Did you see that, Kenny?
Yep, finished it up.
Okay, give us a take on it.
It wasn't as, I'd say, action packed as the last one. It kind of felt.
Right.
There was less. There was less kind of animation, like hand drawn style animation. This is the last one, which you kind of missed. It leaned more into 3D, and some of the stories were less, or they were more like dramatic and that type of shit.
Right.
I did like the one where dude was like a clone and he was chasing motherfuckers off, or I think it was called Snow. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Snow in the Sand was very good.
I couldn't tell if that was like an actor or 3D for like a hot minute because I haven't really.
Yeah, they did a great job. Yeah, they did a great job on the CGI there.
Overall, man, I thought it ended kind of weak. I thought if you were gonna end it, you ended with that one that was like almost like a nature special on TV. I was like,
I'm like, what the
boring.
Yeah.
I'm
thinking maybe the giant was gonna wake up and start eating people or something like that. I was
it just becomes with the dude talking about how sad he is or some shit. Like what? I don't. Yeah, it's a bunch of exposition I didn't need to hear.
Martin, did you get a chance to watch Love, Death, and Robots?
Yeah, but the thing about that show, I just watched like random episodes. I only got to watch 2, and that was like the giant who was in at the sea side.
The last one, yeah.
Yeah, and the one where the Santa Claus is coming down, but it's like just like nice. And then
I thought Santa was interesting. I like the design of the damn creature. It was pretty freaky with the mouth hands and everything.
Yeah, it's it's a good way to scare children to be nice, So I like that. I like that. So, but I can't say so much about the series that season. I've seen the entire season 1, except I still need to watch that one with they're using cats as guns or some shit like that. Cats as weapon.
Right.
Season 1 was just way action packed compared to this thing. This one was like
season one was breathtaking.
Yeah.
Season 1, I would actually say every episode in season 1 was blowing me away. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, so I can't say much about season 2 because I haven't seen all of it yet. So I just don't, like I said, I only seen 2 episodes and that's it. So I need to take my time to watch it more.
I'm trying to think. I think there was only one that kind of looked hand-drawn, right? Like the second episode, maybe?
Yeah, and even that one, that was the one where they were like racing just to get away from whales, like ice whales.
And it was like 3D. It was still kind of 3D-ish. But even there was like there was no real action or fighting or any gore in that of the sort.
Like it looked like the artist who did Gorillas did that.
Yeah, had the same kind of look to it, huh?
Right. But this one with this, I'm like, my opinion. All right, we got Love, Death, and Robots. Created Tim Miller, stars Scott White, Nolan North, Emily O'Brien, and more. It was pretty much, I would say this had 8 episodes within this one.
How long was the other one? Because this one felt kind of short comparatively.
This one was very short, much shorter than the than the first one.
You know what?
It felt rushed. It felt like rushed.
Not to cut you off, but I was gonna say there used to be this little I think it's still around. There's a TV series on PBS around here called Image Makers, where they pretty much just show a bunch of short films for like 30 minutes to an hour. And sometimes they'll do just a bunch of like student submitted 3D shorts and shit. There'll be like a whole row of them, like they last 10 or 5-10 minutes each per episode, and they just run them. And that's what this kind of felt like I was watching. It didn't feel like the last season. It felt like a bunch of indie, just student films.
Yeah,
put
this one
together.
didn't feel as well fleshed out or
Yeah.
fleshed out as the first season or the first premiere of Love, Death, and Robots. It didn't blow my mind like the first one. I will say that I enjoy seeing these, but didn't, and it hasn't been it hasn't been in such a long time that I've felt like I was watching something similar to liquid television, and that's what Love, Death, and Robots brings me to. It brings me back to a time or harkens back to when I used to love watching a lot of independent animation skits, like on VHS, on MTV, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Do I appreciate the fact that Netflix threw this out there as a segue for artists and independent animators to put their stories and animation out there? Yes. But I will say, compared to the first season, this one was just like,
Yeah, right. Then the first season felt like a
the
straight.
first season just wanting more. Like you wanted to see continuations of the shorts that they had on.
Yeah, and it felt like a visual version of a heavy metal magazine from a month, like a month of heavy metal. You know how the one magazine issue would have different stories per. That's what it felt like. How you get all these different kind of stories per, but they all felt tied together as one branding.
Right.
This one just felt like a showcase of people's 3D art, like when students want to show off what they can do in terms of technique and all that, and less of the here's a cool story with action and shit. I don't know. Maybe I just missed the violence and shit from the other one, man.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's you got to understand. A lot of people are like, oh, they misconstrue my likeness when it comes to certain things, or they'll be like, oh, you only want to see blood and violence and this, that, and the other. I said, no, I grew up in a hyper masculine household or hyper masculine era when as though like we had 80s, 90s heroes. It was action, it was stuff. But I do love a good story. Give me a good story. I don't just watch action and blow them and shoot them up. But when I see animation, or if it's supposed to be based off of action, or the basis of it is action, I want it. I want it.
But there's some things like that one with I don't know how you felt about it, Martin, but that one with the guy or the giant they found at sea. But to me, it just felt so pretentious, just the way it was written.
I will say that was like it's called ADHD.
They said it's called ADHD.
No, I will say about that episode was just like it felt like it should just it's like it feels like you're watching a documentary. Instead of a whale, it's like a human being. That's it. That's all
I mean, if you listen to how the guy was talking, to me it felt like deep, like how some douchebag college kid feels he's deep. It just like, oh god, this introspective horse shit. It's
I felt as though, and the thing about it is, as he kept talking, after I would say like 10 minutes into it, I started looking at the timeline, and I said, this is just going to be nothing but dialogue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nothing but dialogue. I was like, okay. I was like, all right.
It was basically a diary book, basically.
And I don't mind that. But I mean, like,
I wait for something at the end. I thought after they have his bones and shit strung out everywhere and they're using it, I thought there was gonna be his race is gonna come back and try to reclaim his body, and there's gonna be another
exactly.
No, nothing. They didn't tease. Yeah.
Something. I mean, like the one with Michael B. Jordan was actually pretty good, but then it was like, okay, all of them left. Whereas though the other ones within season 1 pretty much told a good short story. These right here were just like, okay, they left you like, it was like you were having sex and you were about to come and a girl just jumped up and was like, bye. You were like, what the?
Very like I can barely remember Maury's episodes.
Yeah, they were very forgettable, forgettable. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't, and no, I'm not being endorsed by this company or this media or the media that they sell or do. No. Check out Dust. If you want good short,
for sure.
Films, check out Dust on YouTube. They're on Facebook now, but they do amazing shorts, amazing CGI animated shorts, etc.
If you have a
There's been
smart TV,
time
also there's a channel for them. They have like a straight Dust TV on one of these
right,
smart
yes, they do.
channels.
It is called Dust. If you love animated shorts, if you like sci-fi shorts, and a lot of them just in like real messed up, or they have very good storylines and they're short storylines, check out Dust on YouTube or check out Dust on Facebook. They have their own channel. Yeah. So, but I mean, like, yeah, like, you know what? Mouse Type says they're afraid to be violent right now. Thanks for being woke. Somebody
That's
don't like
probably
woke.
it. That's most likely
this
it.
one seemed just like I don't know. It just didn't have that edginess that the original season or the first season had. It just felt, I don't know. It just felt like, I don't know. You know what it felt like? A Pixar's run through or something like that.
Hey, you know, I was thinking about it. For sure, it felt like some out of Pixar, man. It didn't have that hardcore feel as the other one for sure, man.
Because Love, Death, and Robots, that first season, man, I have watched that, and I don't watch things over and over again. I have watched that at least 3 times. That's how good it is.
Oh yeah, I go back, I put it back on while I'm cleaning and all kinds of shit, man.
I think my favorite episode there was that guy in who was like mind trapped with an alien. Then he just re-wakes and repeats in season 1. That was like my favorite episode of that Love, Death, Robots. That and those droids was just there after when humans.
I thought the heist was awesome with the cyborgs going on at a heist or like robbing a train and shit.
That one was exactly. Not only remember that one where they were trying to fight those monsters in the first season, and like one guy was Russian or something like that, and he had to sacrifice. Like you could tell he sacrificed.
It was like a werewolf or something.
Yep. That's what I was expecting. I was like, because when they said, hell, I like the first one that came up there. When remember when like he went in that I think it was like a go-go bar. And she said, I love you, and you saw it that like vibrate over his head and shit like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then you had the
it was like Martin being in Prague.
Shut up. The audience do not need to know what happens in Prague State in Prague. That's it.
I love Prague. I love Prague. So, you know what? We're going to give our score on Love, Death, and Robots this season. Not the first one, but this season of Netflix, Love, Death, and Robots. I honestly give it a, and it's not because I don't like the series, but I mean, this one, I'll give it a 3 nerd pins, 3 out of 5 nerd pins. What about you, Kenny?
Maybe a 2.5 or a 3, like a low 3.
Yeah. What about you, Martin?
I give it 2 bananas and 1 apple because I haven't seen the show yet.
Yeah, honestly, it's not like the first one. It was just so memorable. The first season of Love, Death, and Robots was just so momentous and memorable to where, like, I was just like blown away by every episode. By the time the episode was ending, another one that was coming in that was blowing my mind. I was still thinking about the previous episode, you know? We're like with this one, meh. Yeah. I don't know. I was just disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Mouse Type gave it 2 pins. She gave it 2 nerd pins, 2 pins. Man, so I guess that's it.
Robot Carnival.
Wow. Wow, I can't wait to see the rest of the show now.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I'd say pick and choose. Look at the synopsis and choose whatever one strikes your fancy. There's a few that are decent, I guess. I just can't remember them honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about. I don't know how I feel about this one. This one was very disappointing. Very disappointing. Now, next up, I want to cover this show that I watched on Netflix. It seemed like it was just a week of Netflix. It was a week of Netflix. Some stuff I won't be able to get to, but I'll make it for the next show. But Kenny, or if you saw this President for Animal, what did you think of Yasuke?
I was actually looking forward to because I like history and shit. And all that. And then the trailer looked pretty awesome, but there's a lot of flaws in this, lots of red flags if you're not a fan of woke culture and shit.
Right.
Which I mean, you
I
could kind of see coming. It's Netflix. They're known for inserting woke things. But for spoilers, there's one thing that's really alarming. I think this is the first time anywhere they portrayed Nobunaga as being a gay guy. Because what? I mean, I get it, but in the context of a story, you don't have to add something that literally added nothing to the story itself. It was just something they threw in as a blank fact, as oh
Right.
here, Nobunaga's now a gay guy and he has this guy who's his lover.
You know what?
Nowhere
Hold
else
Hold
does
on
it
one
affect the
second. Hold
story
on.
except for
Hold
flashback
on.
scenes.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Yasuke, he came from Africa and fought alongside a mighty feudal lord in brutal 16th century Japan. They call him the Black Samurai, and he became a legend. It was created by Lycian Thomas, stars Lakeith Stanfield, Maya Tanida, William Christopher Stevens, and more. Now go
He's not
ahead.
even the main hero. And
No.
another gripe is that
Nope.
he's not even the main
Nope.
hero.
Nope.
I
Uh-uh. You
only
think
I
he
only
is, but he's
I
not.
only, I only saw the first episode because it kind of looked like interesting, but I
I'll
haven't
tell you
just
what. Did you like the way the world looked with the robots mixing with the magic and all that
Well,
shit?
see,
yeah,
I already see what
I love
I
the
saw what
intro. I
they were
love the
trying to
intro
do. I
on
saw
the first
exactly what they were
scene.
trying to do.
Cause I got
But
a
go ahead.
buddy whose main gripe is that he wanted like historical shit like Ninja Scroll, and my thing is like I know I want Ninja Scroll too, but with this I think they're trying to do like that that whole Samurai 7 or Afro Samurai where it's robots and shit mixed with feudal Japan. They're trying to do all that shit, and I get it, but the whole thing left a lot to be desired in terms of what they did with the character because the way they build it up even in the trailer make it look like he's the shit, he's about to be the main man in this whole thing.
Right.
So when you go into this watching, yeah, the first few episodes set him up like he's gonna be his shit. They go into his past, whoop de woo, blah blah blah. But without giving up too much, there's a magical MacGuffin, like a little girl that becomes a magical main character who has magical main character powers all of a sudden. And literally, for people who complain about, oh, the Mary Sue and the Marty Stew, and this is literally that. It's an overpowered kind of character that can wail on everybody for no apparent reason.
Absolutely.
Like
I agree. I see it.
completely overpowered for no damn reason. Other than the fact that she's a magical MacGuffin for the story to continue the way the writer wrote it. It's just silly. You name the thing Yasuke, and then you have this. Oh, in history, he was the first, and whoop de woo. And next thing you know, he's like a side character. It's weird.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you see where I had a few issues with this. I had more than just a few. For people that love woke culture and woke films and woke shows, this is for you. This is
Oh,
definitely
they're
for you.
loving it. I can imagine there's a few guys who love this shit.
I was very disappointed in Yasuke. I was very disappointed. And it had potential. It had potential because, well, for one, I already see what it was trying to do. It was trying to be a combination of Ninja Scroll and Afro Samurai at the same token with by what I say in terms of Afro Samurai, because they tried to integrate that fantasy element within within feudal Japan. You
And
understand what I'm
technology
saying?
and shit.
But
Yeah.
you can't be nobody. I don't think they can't redo Afro Samurai. They just can't, because Afro Samurai, what made that so momentous and wonderful is the fact that it incorporated future technology, modern day technology, kind of giving it a Quentin Tarantino-esque feel to it, to where as though you didn't know what time frame it was, but you kind of like felt like maybe it was feudal Japan, but then like it wasn't feudal Japan because cyborgs, robots, and everything running around. This right here tried to mimic that and failed at it, because they also try to add in like they try to add in woke culture. They also try to add in like Ninja Scroll by having like, instead of the 8 devils of Kimon, they had these little characters like these arch villains or whatever the case may be after you.
Hold on. They weren't just villains. They were racist demons.
Yeah, like come on,
Like what? Seriously?
come on. Yeah, it was a wreck. It was a wreck.
Holy shit.
It was so many times I was just holding my head. I was like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Then it was like, oh, well, I'm black. You don't have to keep saying you're black because I'm black. Calm down. We know you're black.
Yo, there's literal scenes that do that, isn't there? Where it go, that is the dialogue where he just straight says, "It's because I'm black," and there's some other character charging him with a racially charged attack. It's fucking funky. It's amazing.
Yeah, like, and again, you like, I see why it only got a 6.3 right here out of a 10, because people are getting tired of the woke culture. You can tell a good story without putting your skin on front of the screen. Like, come on, we know you're black. Oh, and I was a black man, and as a black man, you don't have to keep doing that. Stop.
Hey,
Stop.
not to give up.
That's
too
not
much
going to get your show notoriety. Nobody's going to garner to your side because it's woke. People are getting tired of it. It was good. It was good for a little while, or whatever the case may be. But people want a good versus evil story. You know, it's even better when you just tell a story with a black man. Just tell a story.
All you have to do. Just make it a main character.
And the thing about it is, I enjoyed it, and from what made me like it from the beginning was, for one, it had two of my favorite artists on there doing the intro. I love Thundercat. You understand what I'm saying? I love Thundercat, and I love what's his name? The other guy that was with him. That I forgot it. I forgot his name, but he does a lot of, like, how can I say, alternative 80s neo soul synth pop music that I absolutely love. But it didn't save this show, man. I'm sorry.
This got super woke though, didn't it? Like,
yeah, come on.
Woke you can get, boy.
Exactly. K-Ro says Blade didn't mention he was black, and that's so true.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. You don't need to do that. You don't.
Did you peep though today? Did you realize how the villain, like the main demon samurai, was he was supposed to be a Japanese dude. In his story, he was like a Japanese guy, but he was like the most racist white guy. Is that makes any sense?
Like, what the fuck? they were trying to hit so many little woke targets here. So all of a sudden, the main one that, like, the leader of
samurai,
the leader of the I'm gonna call him the six devil. What was they? The six half-ass devils of Kimon.
They had some funky things like that, didn't they? They had some, like,
they were lame. They were so lame. They were so lame. The little guy had the cross on his chest, and they kept accentuating the cross just to show you, like, religion is bad and white people are bad. And,
no, I'm not talking. I'm talking about the Japanese dude at the end who was like the samurai.
Yeah.
Because if you look at him, yes, he's a Japanese guy and he's supposed to be a samurai, but the way they kind of portray his character, he's like extremely like this racist white guy. Everything he's saying is like racist white guy shit you see in every racist white guy movie.
Yeah,
fucking hilarious.
Exactly.
Even at the end, I think when he's getting beat up and killed unmasked, he says some fucking line about "you're still a slave," haha, or some.
Yeah, like come on. Stop with victim culture. Now it's victim culture anime. Like, come on, bro.
And then Yasuke goes, "I'm a free man."
You know why I love Afro Samurai? Because it was a black dude doing samurai stuff.
They didn't explain it.
He didn't talk that much. He didn't go. He was just doing his thing.
They didn't explain why he was black or how black he was.
Exactly. He was just cool as fuck. He was cool as fuck while being a samurai, a cool black guy with a big ass funky fro, and embracing Asian culture, whatever the case may be. And that's what made it fucking work. Not once did you hear Afro Samurai black. And I was a black man and I had to fight cyborgs. And the cyborgs were racist.
Racist cyborgs and demons.
You saw this motherfucker smoking. You saw this motherfucker doing everything. And what's his name? Who played Ninja?
Yeah, Samuel Jackson. Yeah,
Samuel Jackson just hit it. And what got you is a psychological aspect. At one point, you didn't even know if, like, maybe like Ninja was real or if he was just part of his psyche, and it worked. They were all orphans. It wasn't no junk where he was like being racially profiled or people didn't like. They were all in that world just fighting. He just happened to be a black guy. Like, perfect example. Somebody put up here. K-Ro put up here. Blade was black. We loved Blade because he was a black vampire or a vampire, half-breed vampire that was kicking ass. Number 2, whoever wrote Yasuke, you got to get a better soundtrack than what you got, bro. What made Blade work? Want to know how to do a good soundtrack, and you're trying to incorporate like every form of music, but at the same token, like tell the story. Watch Blade 1. Blade 1 had rock, alternative, techno, house, rap, everything, even neo soul in it, and that's what made the Blade soundtrack work.
Oh, hey, by the way, yeah, sorry about that, K-Road. Put your cam back up. I was staring at you. Oh.
But yeah, I don't know. Yasuke, it lost me. It had potential. If you would have stripped away most of the woke stuff, it would have been a good anime. It would have been a pretty good anime because the action was good. The animation was, the artwork was subpar. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the best, but it was pretty good. The animation was very good. You know, they had good characters that could have been developed upon and everything like that.
The combat was good. The
combat was amazing.
Yeah.
The combat was amazing. If it wasn't for that, it would have just been horrible.
You know what I liked more than Yasuke and the little girl itself was that little band of mercenaries.
Yes.
I'd rather watch shit based around them. They were dope. You know what? They should have just thrown Yasuke with them and left the little girl out. It should have just been him going on mercenary shit. Because here's what they fucked up with. They tease it as being this almost based on history thing, which it wasn't. Because they go after when he was supposed to not even be a samurai no more, and it's whatever, fill in the blank, write what you want because it's whatever now.
Right.
So they went into this weird thing where, yes, you're using his name to market the whole thing. Yes, he's a character within this series, but he's not the protagonist in the end because they don't really follow him that much. As the series goes on, he becomes less and less of the main guy, and you'll see it. Watch the first, I'd say maybe.
Oh no, I know. I'm
telling whoever the fuck listening to the show, but well, it's weird because it starts off with him being a dude, and they're talking about his past, and it slowly slips away into he's a side character now. Even the way it ends with with his impact being pretty much very small into what goes on in that little fight.
Absolutely.
It's like damn. Did you have to be so woke? You really inserted this magical little female character to just whoop on everybody. I'm talking whoops on the last boss, like one shots the motherfucker.
That's
like
what I'm saying. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
Could you imagine Genma getting whooped on by a damn crony? It's the same thing.
Exactly, and Genma ain't having it. And see, this is the thing. This goes to show you a lot of these people that are writing these anime and doing this anime stuff, they haven't watched anime because anime always had androgynous characters. Anime always had bisexual characters, gay characters, so on and so forth. So by you doing this, you're doing nothing but showing your ignorance towards the culture of anime. We've always grew up with androgynous character or effeminate characters and stuff, but they kicked ass. We didn't care if they was effeminate and stuff like that.
They didn't tell you why they were effeminate or why they didn't go into juxtaposition and explanations and shit.
That's why I love Japanese people doing better storytelling than the Western. Like,
of course they do.
Western's weird, isn't it? Because Western is like they feel the need to insert everything that you don't need to have.
I will say this: Western used to be really good telling stories, just like from superheroes to sci-fi, whatever. But it's like we're becoming so. How should I say? We are becoming so PC, like political correct and woke and shit like that. It's like it kind of ruins the creativity. Like I'm actually watching, like. You see what they air on Disney Channel, for fuck's sake, now, or on other shows. It's like, it's horrible. Like, when it comes to storytelling.
I agree. I totally agree.
I mean, what we just talked about was a victim of that. Robots Love and Death was a victim. You're too damn woke, so you can't be violent no more and include all these other things the other one did. So,
I mean, the one Snow in the Sand was the only good one out of all of them.
Yeah.
And the thing with Michael B. Jordan, I mean, like I was like, okay, so you just fought like a robot dog the whole time. So
did someone else dub his voice and use his image because it didn't sound like his ass? I could have sworn it wasn't him like doing the voice.
Who knows?
Yeah, it was weird.
And honestly, I think that was done back when he was like. I think this has been sitting in the vault somewhere, and they just decided to push that out because it just didn't. He didn't seem his seasoned self as he is now. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. I don't know. So, I mean, nerd pins, Kenny.
For Yasuke? Shit.
Yeah.
1. Yeah, I'll give it a 1. Just because of the animation, the actual animation quality gives it a star with the combat in terms of what the action looked like. Because it was visually very nice to look at.
It was.
It's stunning. But story knocks all that down. The forced kind of fucking wokeness knocks all that shit down. So 1.
What about you, Martin? Did you get to watch it, or you only watched like maybe 1 or 2 episodes, right?
I only watched the very first episode. I don't think I even went through the
Oh,
entire.
are you in for a treat? If you like, it's gonna go so woke on you. You're gonna go blind. You're just gonna go,
Yeah,
oh
okay.
my god,
If it's one,
it's so woke.
You know what? If it's that kind of woke, then I stay away.
Super woke.
I'd rather watch Doro Eat Doro. That's actually a better anime.
That's a great anime. That's fantastic. Yeah. Have you seen that one, Dene? That one's great.
That's the one with that alligator head man.
Yeah,
and everything, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I lost interest in it. Maybe I should go back and watch it.
It's a really good anime.
Yeah.
Like it's like steampunk magic universe in my like. It's like kind of like that, and I love that show. I hope that.
I think they got new. You know what? I was looking on Netflix. I think they got a new season of Baki up there, bro.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm about to check.
Yeah, I think they got a new season of Baki up there.
Yeah, I have to check that out then for sure. I think they left at the Right Tide tournament or something was the last one.
Yeah. Martin, did you see the latest episode of Bad Batch?
Yeah, episode 3.
Yeah.
Good soldiers follow orders. Yes, I seen it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to review Bad Batch. And did I give any? No, I didn't give any nerd pins for what's the name? For
Yasuke.
Yeah, Yasuke. I give that. I guess I'll give it a 2 for the animation and artwork was beautiful. I mean, like, it was a pretty decent lines, little shading, a little bit. Nah, you know what? That woke shit just ruined the whole show. If you ask me, it ruined the whole show, bro. It was just too forced. It was too forced. Then you had the big Russian, and if you ask me, some Russian people should be upset because it was that was a forced stereotype because they made that Russian woman big as fuck, bro.
Yeah,
they made her big as hell. They always saying like, "Oh, Russian people are big. Even the women are big."
I was like, big and buff. No.
Stereotype.
That bitch looked like Tila from the new He-Man for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Next up, we're going to talk about The Bad Batch, which was created by Jennifer Corbett, Dave Filoni, stars D. Bradley Baker, Michelle Ang, Nes Bautista, and The Bad Batch the Bad Batch of the elite and experimental clones make their way through an ever-changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone Wars. Me, myself, I will say that I am absolutely enjoying The Bad Batch. I see the formula that they're going to use for this. Do I mind? No, because it worked for The Mandalorian, so I guess it'll work for this right here. If you can get past the animation style or the look of the characters, it tells a very good story. This is very dark too. It is not for children. I don't care if they even put it as PG. There's a lot of death in this show, just like it was in the Clone Wars, which I always wondered why. Like there
was even one episode in the Clone Wars. I'm sorry to interrupt. There was actually one episode in the Clone Wars they actually had to censor in the Cartoon Network, and that's where Darth Maul actually decapitated the Black Sun members.
Yes. Once you get past, like Kenny, once you get past the animation, the art style or the animation style that they're using, this show is dark. And the latest episode, episode 3, season 1, oh man, it got really dark. They killed a bunch of kids and families.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like one of my Fallout runs. Nice.
Yeah, bro. It gets dark in this show, man. But if you watch the Clone Wars was one of those things. I would watch it on Cartoon Network. I was like, how is this really on the kids section when it's violent as fuck? Like they would kill Jedis, especially what's his name, Grievous. Grievous would kill Jedis and blow up people and blow up ships and people.
Oh wait, are we talking about
getting necks broke and getting their necks broke and heads whacked off?
Are we talking about the 2D animation now or the 3D one?
The 3D one. The 3D one. If you didn't watch much of that, did you, Martin?
Yeah, I actually watched the entire, well, not all Clone Wars episodes, but I actually did watch the Clone Wars. I do like the Clone Wars series. I'm talking about the 3D one. I do actually like that show. It was just a Clone Wars movie. I didn't like the one where Jabba's son is being kidnapped and all that.
Yeah, I felt that was a little. Well,
once you watch the series, itself, it's actually getting very, very dark and everything. You even see Darth Maul being all fucked up and shit like that. So
Right.
So it's actually like if you just like you said, if you just look past the animation, but I'm actually starting to grow on these type of animation because it's like it as long as it tells a good story, that's just what I want. I think the original trilogy and even the prequels, I love the prequels, Phantom Menace, all that, and the Mandalorian series and the Rogue One. Solo was all right. The Clone Wars series, the 2D, 3D, and the Bad Batch, they did an amazing job. As long as it's good storytelling compared to the sequel.
I totally agree.
Star Wars can actually be really good as long as they just hire the right people like Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, George Lucas, and many more if they can. As long as they don't put that agenda, so Star Wars can actually be really good. Like, and many fans will support Star Wars. I'm sorry to interrupt though.
No. I agree. I also, you can see what I like about this. You can see how this is leading to where the clones eventually become outsourced and they start hiring regular people, or, the Federate or the Empire starts, recruiting regular humans or like.
Yeah, it's during the process when the clones, because clones, they are like they have developed like aging, they aging way more faster. Plus the Empire will save money and all that. So that's why this is like the phase where they start to testing out to see if they just should just recruit humans to the Empire, basically.
Right. But I would say the last two episodes of episode 2 and 3 of season 1 were very, very good. You can see where as though they are taking to this child now, who is also a clone. And it's turning out to be pretty good. I mean, like, so far, I haven't seen any woke moments. It doesn't turn into a thing. It hasn't turned into a thing where the little girl is becoming the OP, or just like it's all about her. Just
I'm expecting it, man.
No, they haven't done it yet. It's about the crew. And yeah, some of them I can honestly say I like just about everybody on the team here. Hunter being one of my favorites, and what's his name? Sharpshooter?
No, Crosshair.
Crosshair, right?
Crosshair.
Yeah, being one of my favorites, and I mean, I'm enjoying this show. I'm just enjoying it. I'm enjoying it by I love how they have Grand Moff Tarkin up there.
Oh yeah,
you see him as he's younger. You know what I mean? And you really see why. He's Admiral Tarkin at this time, and you see why he's feared by a lot of people. Or like he's feared by the Empire because he's ruthless. He's
a guy who gets the job done no matter what necessary for the best interest for the Galactic Empire, basically.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, there's not much I can tell you about it, but more so that it's just a good show. It's a very good show, very good series. And again, it is not for children. It's a ragtag band of clones that have been pretty much blackballed, and they're on the run. They have this little girl with them now, and they're taking care of the little girl who's a clone as well. And you do know, like this right here.
Yeah, he was tortured and all that.
Do you know who this guy played? This clone pays homage to right here? The one with the tech all on his head and everything like that.
What the fuck? Yeah, that guy from Cloud City, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I know. I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, like in the Star Wars universe, people that are like hurt or damaged like very badly or suffer major brain injury or whatever the case may be, they put those on their fucking heads and shit like that to keep them, to kind of like have like a semblance of a brain and stuff.
Keep them stable, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm hoping they can keep this show going. I hope they can keep things up. You know what I mean? I hope it doesn't become woke, because so far it's very good. We're 3 episodes in. They haven't gotten woke yet, and they didn't bend the knee by making them darker and all that other stuff. When the crazy Twitter mob came for them and be like, "Oh, he's supposed to be darker. He's this, he's that. Why is he so white?" Well, they're all faulty clones, like they're experimental clones and stuff like that. But they do look like the original clone that they came from.
Like it's like they're not watching the show, they're not into the lore, so they just like to ruin fun for everybody. That's what I like to say about these type of people.
Right. So I mean, like, did you get to watch the latest episodes, Kenny, or no?
No, not yet. I'll catch it tonight, probably.
Yeah, you'll like them. You'll like them. Martin, what would you give this? What would you give this show?
We're talking about
the latest two episodes. The latest 2 episodes. Out of 5 nerd pins, how many pins you give it?
I give it actually a 5, to be quite honest. 5.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the show. Like I haven't enjoyed it as much as Mandalorian,
right.
But I'm still enjoying the show. I'm just glad to see good Star Wars content. That's just what every Star Wars fans really want.
Okay. All right. Me, myself, I would say I give Star Wars The Bad Batch the latest 2 episodes. Last 2 episodes, I would give them a 4 out of 5 because, again, well, you know what? I'll give it a 5. I'm enjoying it. I'll give it a 5. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I love the diversity and character that they have going on. I love how each character on the team has their own personality. And again, it's something similar to like an A team or what you would get from like a group. One has already defected onto being a stormtrooper, and you can see like his mask is turning into the Empire, like the stormtrooper mask and everything like that, which is sharpshooter. What's his Crosshair? I mean, Crosshair. Why do I keep calling him sharpshooter?
Yeah, I haven't remembered all the names yet, so they're kind of like hard to get.
Yeah, it has some touching moments in there because they're essentially because they were going to give away the young girl that follows them around and everything like that, but they decided to keep her. They decided to keep her, which is her name is Omega. They decided to keep her, and they made a room in the ship for her too. So I mean, like I thought it was pretty cool. I'm liking it thus far. Hoping that it keeps the steam. So yeah, I give it 5 nerd pins. Next up, ladies and gentlemen.
There's a lot of 5s tonight, man. You're just 5ing them, huh?
Yeah, I definitely have some shows I can start watching. Yeah. I definitely have some shows, says Jeffrey Cummings. Next up, Martin and I are very big 40K fans. Are you in the 40K, Kenny?
I like the art. I don't know much about lore, but I've been using a lot of their paints over the years. So that's pretty much one of the brands of paint I use.
Okay, so both Martin and I have been planning to do a reveal of our action figures. We've had them for months. I've been waiting for months to do these figures, but Martin has been hiding from me. So now that I got them, we're going to do these figures right here. And we have the Warhammer 40K figures from McFarlane, and they're absolutely beautiful right here. I will go into the detail. Martin will give you the lore on these characters. I know the lore as well, and yes, I do love 40K. I am still reading this.
Hey, by the way, speaking of books, we got this one.
Which one?
This one, Kakarodons.
No, is that one good?
I haven't gotten that far, but it's basically a brutal Space Marine chapter called themselves for the Space Sharks or the Kakarodons, and they are very fucked up.
Yeah, I know. Well, Space Marines are messed up anyway.
You say sharks? Fucking awesome. Great.
Yeah,
I'm all about sharks. That's fantastic.
Because if you look at their skin, they're basically like half human, half shark.
Oh, they're sweet. Are they shark people? Oh, fuck yeah.
They even got black eyes as well.
Oh,
so.
we need McFarlane. Brutal. Get some Sharkmen out now.
Space Marines already messed up anyway. Like if the Space Marines drop in, just know it's about to go down. It's about to go down.
That's what's up. That's awesome.
Tell them. Okay. So first off, we're going to open up. I'm going to open up. Let's open up our. Let's see.
Are you Necron?
Yeah. No. Let's do the Primaris so people can get like. Yep. Let's do the Primaris first, right here.
Okay. So basically, I'll just continue telling people want to know about the Space Marine. The Space Marine Primaris, Space Marine are basically the 2.0 Space Marines, because back in the day there was regular Space Marines, but they updated it basically because they want to sell more miniature figures, of course. But it's basically updated version of a Space Marine who's like they got twice as more reflexes compared to the regular Space Marine.
Right.
And the lore behind them is that they actually been around for a long time, but they have been kept in hiding in like type of pods.
No, they were put in cryo. Some of them were put in cryo.
Sorry. So I think so this is basically a Marine chapter though of the Primary Space Marine.
Right.
But somebody tells me they're gonna finally can open it.
And ladies and gentlemen, man, I must tell you, this figure is big and heavy.
Mary Poppins. Yeah, because jeez. Fuck the Tarox.
Let me get something to pull these up. I didn't know it would be tucked in this hard.
That was McFarlane rubber band thing strapped down to it.
Yeah, they made it steel proof.
I hate those things because if they're fastened on too tight, they fuck the paint.
Yeah, like come on, because then sometimes you got to get something sharp, and you end up messing up the paint and stuff like that.
Well, really, did they have to glue that shit together?
Yeah, right. All right, I got mine out.
Come on.
Okay, so while you're getting yours out, I'm going to go over the detail, and you can further explain to them what Primaris Assaulter Marines are.
Basically, they are elite troopers at the tabletop game, so they are very effective. But they are basically not the regular type of Space Marine, but they are more like close combat experts on the field. What was his name again?
Right. Now, when I look at this figure, they got the saw blade too. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, see, a lot of people don't know that Gears of War was basically taken from Warhammer 40K. All they did was just call it Gears of War. Trust me when I tell you, because a lot of the character designs, the makeup, the mock-up, although the 40K universe is just fucking horrifying, you know what I'm saying? It's more so they took a lot of the designs, the lore, like with the orcs in the 40K universe are pretty much like what are they called in Gears of War universe?
The Locust.
The Locust. And this, now mind you, 40K has been out since the 80s. Yep. We got our sword blades.
Yes, a chain sword. But yeah, remember in the 80s, like I never got into the Warhammer 40K universe because when I looked at the art book back in the 90s,
it was ugly. The artwork back in the day was ugly.
Is there any paint on the chain sword?
Yeah. What happened?
Painted it? Did they paint the chain sword up?
Some parts of it are painted. Some parts are painted, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It looks really good. Hopefully you can see it. It's done in 2 tones of gray, and when I look at it real good, yeah, it's like a matte. No, it's like has a bit of silver in it with a gold tip on it. Where the skull is right here, and the grip on these figures are just like phenomenal. Let me get this in here.
I got one McFarlane figure. That's like the Mortal Kombat Spawn. I sold that Kickstarter shit right when I got it, man.
Yeah, that I was a little bit disappointed with that too. I boofed mines too.
I didn't even take mine out the box. It went right from the shipper, and I wrapped that motherfucker in brown paper and sold it. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, this thing is very thick. It is very heavy. Very, very heavy. This figure, I would say, is at least like 1.5 pounds. No, like 2 pounds. It's very thick and solid. It's actually better than the Bandai version that they have out there.
Is it?
Yeah. I saw
articulation-wise?
Articulation-wise, let's see. We got some ball joints at the shoulders and stuff like that. Waist swivel. You got a nice ab crunch and everything. Yeah, the articulation is almost up there with the Marvel Legend, bro.
Comparatively to the Bandai version of that.
Yeah, it has ball. It's full of ball joints, so you can get a ton of maneuverability on with this guy. But the deco that's on here is nice. The deco that's on here is real nice. You got the
You know what? I will assume these McFarlane toys are amazing, but holy shit, they need to rethink the packaging and this shit.
Yeah, the packaging. If you don't have a knife next to you with like some of this stuff, you're not getting it out. I'm telling you.
That's how you know it's for adults, because you gotta have a knife on you to put that shit
exactly,
on. Yeah, you know what? Those figures. I wish today's McFarlane had like 2001 era McFarlane painting.
Right.
Because man, they used to paint the shit out of it. Man, I think the peak was.
Used to get statue quality.
No, they had one peak though. Remember, the Viking spawn line was highly articulated, had fur and soft goods, and was painted like a motherfucker.
Right.
That was the peak McFarlane, man. They need to Somehow revisit that style, but that looks really good in terms of sculpt.
Yeah, it's a
You know
beautiful sculpt. And it's a solid blue plastic, but where the deco is, where the paint apps are, it's absolutely amazing.
You know, I've seen a lot of Warhammer paint apps, and they're usually heavily battle damaged and worn out. It's almost asking to get heavily washed and dry brushed.
Well, this one, like the way they did the paint on here, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can give it a dry brush.
Because the logos, I'm thinking the logos look way too clean. They should be kind of fucked up and like, you know, scuffed up a little bit, like the marks on them.
Right. And on the back, you have a peg right here, so you can sit their packs on the back, their backpacks and stuff like that. And these backpacks serve for multi-purposes within the Space Marines or the Primaris ones.
I played the shit out of the little, I think it was a 360.
The third-person one, right?
Yeah, that game was the
love
shit.
That one.
Yeah, the Space Marine game.
Space Marine, fantastic. I have the first-person one. I think it's called Terminator or whatever. On
the
PC.
Terminator armor.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
It's a first-person shooter. It's like a squad-based first-person game. It's pretty good. Yeah.
It's called Space Hulk.
Space Hulk. Yeah, Space Hulk enhanced. Yeah, that was pretty good.
And the grip on it, the grip on this figure is just through the roof, man. I'm telling you, it's very hard to get the weapon in the hand because the grip is just. And again, this is made out of a solid plastic, Kenny. Kenny, this thing feels like you can like. It's another toy you can whack somebody in the head with.
I will say this. This is the most heaviest action figure.
That was like a nice chunky figure.
Ever had.
It is. It's very chunky. Very chunky, Kenny. Very chunky. Hold on. Let me try to.
So it's all solid. There's no rotocast pieces.
No.
Hollow. Wow, that's good. I was expecting at least a little bit to be like hollow because sometimes you get big looking figures and they're a little bit.
No, it's no hollow. This thing is not hollow.
That's nice. I like the head too.
And Tommy tells me you gotta need this one. You gotta need this one because this guy is.
Will it not stand on its own without it?
No,
it'll backpack make it too heavy.
No, it'll stand. Mine's standing.
Let me see. Yeah, it stands there as well.
It stands easily.
Because I hardly ever use display bases with my shit. I think I only use the Mezco ones when I display those, but for the most part,
mine stands perfectly fine. Hold on.
Fucked it up.
Yeah, for something so big, I figured to be pretty heavy.
Look, and this is nice. This is me holding it up in the air. Look,
I see Martin standing up pretty decent.
Yeah.
That's a solid looking little figure, man.
Now, as far as like the detail on it, the detail is simplistic, but it's colored in perfectly fine. Now, yes, and honestly, McFarlane gets it. You can tell he plays Warhammer because he does give you a basic figure in certain aspects so that you can, if you want to, you can customize and paint it. Like you said, put some wash on it, put some wear and all that other stuff, get some brush going on and stuff like that to give it like a worn look, how some of the Space Marines look. But yeah, Martin, tell them more about the Primaris ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the weapons on later. Yeah, the Primaris are basically, like I said, they are basically 2.0 Space Marines.
Yes.
At this point, and also it's also an excuse for making more miniature figures for the Space Marine, and more money sells. But they are basically like the new type of Space Marine, and they were like originally many in the Imperium was very skeptic about this.
Right.
But that was until they got understand. It was like, oh no, this is from the Emperor. Actually approved of this. Plus, Emperor's son, Robert Guilliman, I think his name was Roberto Guilliman. I think his name was. He is like the chapter. He's the Primarch of the Ultramarines. And for people, if people don't understand what the Primarch are, I'm gonna give you the short version. Emperor is like the Emperor, God Emperor, as they call him in Warhammer 40K universe. He's basically the leader of the human race or the Imperium at the Warhammer 40K universe, and his sons are basically the Primarchs, who are like the leaders of these Space Marines chapters. So they're basically like space knights, if you really want to think it like that, who goes against many, not just the Space Marines, but it's the Imperium itself goes against like Chaos Traders and aliens and so many. It's basically an endless war. So they just need to. There's no day off. Basically, they can't. There is no day off in this universe.
What did you? Who do you consider the Space Marines' most deadliest foe?
Space Marine. I will say their Space Marine's most deadliest foe is. It's not well. It's the most number one threat to them is the Chaos Space Marines, but also
absolutely Chaos Space Marines are brutes.
But the thing
if they're one of Khorne's, especially if they're one of Khorne's Chaos Space Marines.
Exactly, but the thing is that if you're going to see like more detail, I will say it's the Tyranids and the Space Marine and the Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah.
On like the number one threat, because Tyranids they don't negotiate with anybody. They just go to planet after planet, just harvest. But the Chaos Space Marine, they don't want to negotiate with them either, and understandable because they are basically traitors and they're basically
they're fallen Space Marines, and you can tell they don't just wear like because usually when on the space with the Chaos Space Marines, they give their allegiance to Khorne. You understand?
Yeah, not only Khorne, but they worship
the different what's the names? The different gods.
Yeah, they are four gods. Nurgle is basically the plague god who's spread disease and shit. Slanesh is like the god who's
the pleasure one.
Pleasure one, my personal favorite.
I like Nurgle. I like Nurgle because he's nasty as fuck.
I don't like him. I don't like diarrhea. So. And the Sench, I don't know much about Sench, but it's more like a magic thing. I don't know much about Sench, so I need to read more about that. But what I understand, it's more like a magic wielder user, or want to try more magic stuff and changes and stuff. And then we have Khorne, who's like just blood and war and death. They just want war and blood. So
yeah, like I'm telling you, Kenny, if you were to read some of the books, what they need to do is start doing some more graphic novels for so that people can really get into the Warhammer 40K universe. You follow what I'm saying? Because
absolutely. But they have started doing that. But the problem is it's Marvel who's doing it, and we know how Marvel is.
Oh shit!
They're gonna fuck that all over. They're gonna ruin your shit.
No,
they got their paws in there.
So graphic novel
y'all
books
about to get neon haircuts and everything.
Bro, it's gonna be all fucked up. They already got like some female warriors and stuff like that. I think they're the even if they've always had it in Warhammer. But,
they always were. They were called Sisters of Battle.
Yeah, Sisters of Battle. But like they're trying to push them to the forefront. Like they're the most powerful warriors in the 40K universe already and stuff like that. Because I read a mock-up on them. And I was like, that's not their original lore. Like, come on. It's not even like that. Like, what are you talking about? But, yeah. Primaris Marines are absolutely beautiful. I love Primaris. I love Space Marines. I love Warhammer 40K. And, yeah, this figure is absolutely beautiful. As you can see along the sides.
How the hell did you do that? Get him in the fucking hand. I'm trying to notice this guy.
You gotta know your action figures, bro.
Yeah.
Tell him, Kenny.
Yeah, I send you this to America, then you can put it in, then you send it back to Norway.
And again, I cheat and just use a damn hair dryer.
Holds all of his accessories very well right here. And I think there was a little area where you could put. No, it's not. But like now, the grip on these figures are solid plastic. Some of you will have to be very careful because the grip is hard.
Okay.
Kenny, look how I'm holding this figure. Look how I'm holding this figure. That's how big it is. It's at least like eight, close to like 8.5 inches.
Let me just get an action figure to compare it to, just real.
Well, yeah, I can give you one like real quick. Here's a Stormtrooper, and these are like 6.5. That's how big this dude is.
That's a sizable piece of plastic, man.
Yeah, it's heavy, Kenny. This shit, I could throw it at somebody and hurt them. Like, you know what I mean? But the deco on the side looks beautiful. The backpack plugs in.
Yeah, I just want to dirty him up, man. Paint that motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, again, he gives you a blank canvas in a way.
Yeah, that's what they're made for.
Because some people are starting to use these as pieces for their games.
Are they?
Yeah,
those are big ass pieces.
Yeah, they're starting to use these as pieces for their games and stuff like that.
Let's see a look at the action figure comparison here with.
He's a big guy for sure.
Yeah, he's pretty big. He's a chunk of plastic, man.
He's bigger than him, though.
And yeah, it does have been, it had tons of articulation, as you can see right here, but it's not on a double. Is it on a double? Yes, it is. It's on a double hinge knee.
Nice.
It's on a double hinge knee, Kenny. Look at this.
Oh,
now,
man,
Ken, you got to be real quick. Like when you see these figures posted, if you're even thinking about getting them, because the price for this guy now is like through the roof. At last time I looked, it was through the roof.
Yeah, but did you see the Blood Angel one? The red one?
Yes.
I didn't know about that one, and now it's fucking stupid. The price is high.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I love the deal that they put right here along his shoulder right here to show you that he's a Primaris.
Oh, that chest piece is dying for
the detail. Yeah, he's the Primaris. He's the Primaris sergeant, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Space Marines are the dudes you send in when you want to get shit done. That's when you want to get shit done.
Just want to take a watered down darker gold.
Keep fighting because they have like within their suits and in their bodies they're cybernetically augmented, all sorts of shit. They're larger than most humans and shit like that. They can bust off. You can bust off a limb. They'll still keep going. You know what I mean?
Not only that, but what's also very risky, or like I would say, fun fact, like this bolter pistol, just one bullet of that. Just explode a head. That's it. It's not a regular gun. It's just like an extra. No, but what the thing about these Space Marines too, and it's also they did also that with regular Space Marines too, is that they have to be very careful, or you have to be very they have to go back and try to get much of their bodies if they die or some shit like that. They have to try to go back and get their gene seeds back as well.
Right. Yep.
And also one fun fact, or actually it's true. If there's a Space Marine who's not dead, but he's damaged as hell, they don't put him to sleep or anything. They just put him inside of like a walking grave.
Yeah, it's a walking coffin.
Called the Dreadnought.
The Dreadnought. Yep, they put him in a Dreadnought. So you never finish servicing the what's the name? You never out of service with the Empire.
Imperium.
Not the Empire. The
Imperium. But the thing is that they don't just doing that to Space Marine too. They're doing that to regular humans too. If you fuck up with crime, it's like doesn't matter. You go in there in the battlefield because they need everybody on this.
You never stop serving. You never stop serving.
Yep.
Like it was one book I was reading. Like they just made this guy a Dreadnought. You could still hear him screaming and hollering while he was fighting and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they said the process didn't fully sink in just yet, but they still had to put him out on the battlefield.
Exactly. And the oldest Dreadnought in the Imperium history is actually one called Björn the Fellow-Handed. And the thing is, what I love is that the Space Wolves are basically based on Scandinavian people like Norwegians, Swedish, all that. It's basically Space Vikings.
Yep. Next up, we're going to open up a Necron Warrior. Now, Necron Warriors are essentially...
I don't have the Necron, unfortunately.
Do you have a Necron or no?
What?
Do you have
the Necron? No, I don't have the Necron.
You didn't get the Necron? I thought you got the Necron.
Nope, I didn't.
Okay, well, Necron Warriors are essentially...
But I know a lot about the lore of the Necrons. They're basically... You're going to tell it, Mike.
No, go ahead. You go ahead, and I'll give them the detail on it. But
okay.
I'll just tell them, like, Necrons are essentially what they look like, but they're a bit more dangerous than what you would call a Terminator. Way more dangerous. And they don't stop.
Basically, the Necrons are basically like walking undead people, but their souls are basically trapped in machines because basically they were actually one of the first races before the Imperium, before the humans, before any other races. But the thing is, they made a deal because they had the incredible technology. But the problem with the Necron race was that they didn't age like they what's the right word? They didn't age well. That's the thing. Like they had a short lifespan. So they made a deal with somebody called the Khitan gods, and they're basically like interdimensional god beings. So they were tricked by one god called the Deceiver and they asked like, can you help us live forever or like something like that? Yeah, sure, we do that. Just put their souls in these machines. But what he didn't say was like, oh, by the way, you serve me for the rest of life. You live forever, but you serve me. But at one point, the Necrons managed to actually take over the Khitan gods. So now, actually, the Khitan gods are the slaves for Necrons.
Yeah,
if I'm
exactly.
not mistaken. So the Necrons are very like it's not basically a new race, but it hasn't been explored that much. But recent over the years now, they have actually been exploring the lore and actually giving all like special characters, should I say, in the storyline, not just the Necrolord, and that's it.
Now, I remember the battle that the Necrons had with the orcs. And the orcs were just like taking parts off of them. Like, would say like a Necron would drop, they would because orcs, well, the orcs in the 40K universe, all they do is just basically just throw themselves at motherfuckers when they're fighting, and just whatever the fuck is left over, they'll turn it into a weapon. They are very crafty, very resourceful. But I mean, like when they fought the Necrons, the Necrons almost obliterated all the orcs. You remember that, right? Do you remember that book?
I don't think I've read the book, but I played a video game where they were just like where if you play the Dawn of War game called the Winter Assault, there's like a one Necron monolith showing up in the war, but it's just like, holy shit, there's Necrons too. I'm gonna fucking get some of those parts, and you know.
Right. They had well, it was this one battle, and like the parts that they had taken that they had taken from the Necrons ended up being parts that, like, when they all right, put it like this, or still like say like if they're just fucking brutes, they're just fucking brutes and shit like that. Whatever they get a hold of, they make a weapon of it. So what had happened is that they went and fought the Necrons. Necrons kind of like it was kind of like a standstill fight, but the Necrons whooped their ass, and whatever parts was left over, the Necrons actually let them take it. They started incorporating it into themselves. The orcs started incorporating it into themselves. And what had happened is that the Necrons had hidden little nanos in there and everything, and it started turning the orcs into like slaves for the Necrons. You know what I'm saying? It was yeah. But the Necrons are essentially like, how can I put it? They are basically
like the undead, or right, like machine, like not, instead of flesh, they're machines who right, just. But the thing about them, they have the incredible advanced technology. So they are the biggest. They're not the biggest threat in the Warhammer 40K universe, but they are the ones who's most advanced technology compared to other races.
And usually, if they attack you, they know all your weaknesses. They know whatever the case may be, because they've done their research to come after you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, and the thing is, that's actually true in the battlefield. It's like a Necron, like these regular Necron soldier, they can't die. No matter how much they will wake up. They maybe be disabled like for like maybe a day or two, something like that. But after that, it's like they will rise up again.
Yeah. Yeah. Now this figure right here comes with a nice blaster and everything like that, and it looks great. It looks great. The paint scheme on it is beautiful. Tons of articulation, as you would get with most figures right here. You can turn the head all the way around. You can give it a nice little ab crunch here. I love how they have part of its mechanisms hanging down right here. This is the crest right here in the middle of its chest, as you can see. This figure's looking good. It has some damage look. It has a damage look on it. Nice detail on the legs.
Like rusted, basically.
Very cool looking, yeah.
Yeah. You know, this is how the Necron warriors look. If you read the book on them, you'll like them even more. They do look like they're trying to copy a Terminator, but they're completely different from Terminator.
I will say they probably had inspiration from the Terminator.
Of course, because I mean, like everything pretty much like bounces off of something else or whatever. But yeah, you got tons of articulation on this thing. You can get some waist swivel going on and everything like that. And you have 2 points of waist swivel, like you have it down here and up here as well. Nice ab crunch, pivoting, twist on the head, all that stuff. Got do you have any butterfly joints here? No, it's actually on a ball joint in a socket right here. So you can get like a whole bunch of like range of movement with it. It's on a double hinge elbow right here. And no, it's on a single hinge. This is a single hinge right here. But yeah, the sculpting on this guy is beautiful. You got the little 2 toes going on right there. The battle damage sculpted into the figure, and a nice gold paint, but it doesn't seem too shiny. Now this one right here, they don't. You can tell McFarlane is not making this one to be. Yeah, you can do some customization on it.
I've actually seen that painted really well, like almost like a really deep bronze and old looking. I've seen people really aced that thing up.
I got the Necron. I used to collect Necrons back in the day, actually. So I got the. Let's see if we can find some examples. By the way, I just want to point out beautiful artwork here.
Yeah.
That's but yeah, for example, I'm just going to try to find a very quick painting.
Beautiful. Look at
there
this.
There we go.
Yep, there they go. But see, what they're doing is, because some of those miniatures are expensive. Like I'm telling you, those pieces, they could run into money, Kenny. I'm telling you.
They are.
Oh, I've seen, because I use their paints and I've always looked at their miniatures and shit too. Yeah, they get pricey.
Just want to let you know, like, this is not for 40K. This is the old Warhammer, Warhammer Fantasy.
Right.
But you can look at the models, compare back in the day and now. The models and the artworks were basically really, how should we say, not perfect. There we go. You can see how very ugly looking they were back in the day.
Yeah, that was the old shit. The new shit is banging, man. It is beautiful. But yeah, man, I mean, like, me and Martin and I are very big fans of Warhammer 40K. That just furthered my friendship for him when I found out, because not many people are into Warhammer like I am. I like reading the books. I don't play the game too much, but I love reading the books. The books are just crazy.
That's what I got into the Warhammer 40K universe as well. Like, I knew about the tabletop game, and I did try to collect an army, but it's like there's just so many rules and complications and shit like that. It's like,
right.
You're spending half of your time, and I played some couple of rounds with it's easy once you get to know it, but it's very. If you get a new character or a new unit, you have to basically go to the entire rule book just to see who can handle what, and it's just so much.
Exactly.
And they changing the rules
about it with them coming out with new characters and all that other stuff. Like the ones that you spent money on can sometimes mean absolutely nothing in the game, or do absolutely nothing. Like, perfect example. Oh, well, I forgot to mention, they both come with the Warhammer 40K stands right here. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have time, if you want to just learn semblance of what the Warhammer 40K universe is about, just go over to One Mind Syndicate on YouTube. Just go over to One Mind Syndicate, because I could be talking to you, both Martin and I could be talking to you about Warhammer all day long.
We could.
Yeah, because it gets deep, especially when you go into the different gods and stuff like that. And the
thing is that the Warhammer 40K universe, there are so many races, and it's a very big lore. But the thing is, I don't collect much miniatures now because I don't have the time to build and paint. I maybe buy like one pack once every year, maybe. Right. But one or two. But the thing is about it's the books and the universe that is so fascinating, and it's really fucked up. It's like basically dark. It's a very dark age of technology thing. But they actually did make there's a lot of Warhammer 40K video games out there. If people are not into reading books, they can also play the video games. And there's also I didn't like that movie that much, but it's a movie called Ultramarines.
Yeah.
But there's also one fan movie called Astartes that people.
Oh yes, Astartes. Yep, that is beautiful. Kenny, believe me when I tell you, if you get into these, just watch this. It's this channel on YouTube called One Mind Syndicate, and they'll tell you everything. They can start you from the basics, and you can see how fucked up the Warhammer universe is. It's a universe of fantasy and wonder, but it's horror. It's straight horror.
And each and every character.
Who do you think the worst god to visit? Do you think the worst god to fall for?
Of the Chaos Gods?
Yeah. I think the worst Chaos god to fall for is Slanesh, man.
I was about to say it too, because sure, he gives you pleasure, he and she gives you pleasure, But the thing is that you're getting addicted to that pleasure, so you start to do fucked up shit just to get that pleasure back.
Yeah,
Nurgle, however,
you turn into this whole sexual freak or monster that they just constantly keep using you. We're like, honestly, Nurgle kind of like visits you when you're about to die, or like you feel like you have to, like, if he comes and invades your planet or whatever the case may be, he'll give you an option. We're like Slanesh will like lure you in with bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Nurgle, if he come for you, he does give you an option. Like, look, even though he does bring it forth, he'll make you go through so much pain and like going through like sickness and shit like that, to where he'd be like, I can stop this if you want me to. You know what I'm saying? And
not only that, but Nurgle is supposed to be, during the 4 Chaos Gods, he's supposed to be the most gentle one as well, because he has a gentle grandpa likeness to him, where he calls himself Grandpa Nurgle.
Grandpa Nurgle. Yeah, Grandpa Nurgle.
And he's very corrupted, but also he's like a father like character, but in a very fucked up way.
But yeah, like you constantly keep evolving with infection, pus, and disease and shit like that, and like it's always pain. Well, Korn is fucked up.
He just wants war and destruction. That's it.
Yeah, everything leads to death and anger with him. But with Korn, like, I think Nurgle, in an odd way, is the most, how can I say, most compassionate one out of all of them. When you think about it, it's just that you're gonna live a life of constantly evolving into like disease, pus, and all that other shit, and your intestines, and just fucked up shit. And you constantly evolve. Like, even when you're dead, they scrape your remains up and make something out of it to use. You know what I'm saying? Nurgle is fucked up like that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But all the Chaos Gods are fucked up, if you really think. But I will say the most normal race in the Warhammer 40k universe, it's actually the Tau Empire.
Yeah.
Because they just want, of course, they don't want the Chaos or the Orcs or Necrons, because that will be impossible. But they want to gather most people's alliance, including Eldar, Imperium, just like, for the greater good. They just want the people to connect. That's it.
Right.
I think they're the most reasonable. Like, if you want to live a peaceful life, then just join Tau, basically.
Right. Well, I mean, we did a nice little show for you guys tonight. I don't want to keep you too long. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Me and Martin and I wanted to really unbox these 40K figures a very long time ago. We've been very busy. He's been very busy. He's been having to check on his family, visit his family and everything, because even in Norway, COVID is over there, and everybody's being affected by it in different ways. So, I'm just glad to have him here to be able to go over, for us to finally review these figures, review these shows that we've mutually watched and love. Next week, I'm going to be giving you a review on Jupiter's Legacy. What's that? It was a couple of other ones. Baki seems like they got a new series. I got to check out and see.
Definitely.
Wait. There's a new season of Baki. We talk about these buff people.
Mm-hmm. No, those are fighters. And you've never watched Baki?
I watched. Let's see, Baki. It was that guy who was trying, like, it was these criminals who trying to just want to die, but in a fair fight or a fucked up fight.
Yeah, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I seen all the seasons.
It's like an adult version of Street Fighter.
Yeah, it really is.
I think my favorite character there was that. I think my favorite character there, I can't remember his name, but I think my favorite character in Baki was that old man who looks like Santa Claus, who was like, "Good evening, gentlemen." Then he just losing his shit. Like
Dorian. Dorian.
Yeah, Dorian. Yeah, I think that was my favorite one. That and that black guy who was living in the prison.
Oh yeah.
Biscuit. Yeah, Biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those were like my two favorite ones in that show, though.
I like whenever he came around, they would start playing jazz-like music and shit.
Yeah.
But I actually liked compared to Baki. I can't remember what the name of the show was again, but it was like fighters fighting for company.
Sure, Kengan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kengan is sure.
I really liked that show. That was one of my favorites. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of the 3D type anime, but I'm starting to grow on it. Like, that was a good show in my opinion.
So, I mean, I hope everybody enjoyed the show.
Fantastic.
We should have some more stuff. I was going to review Thunder Force, but I think I might just, I don't know.
What the fuck is Thunder Force? Is that a movie?
Yeah, it's on that. It's in
that tells me enough about it. Never mind.
Wait. Are we talking about those two? Are we talking about those two ladies?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay,
Yeah.
I know now. Don't you brought it? Okay, I remember. I was actually mocking it like a week ago to my buddy. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I was gonna review a couple of movies. There were more I was gonna do, but I was just like, you know what? Now Mitchell's versus the Machines, I'm gonna check out, and I'm gonna check out. Well, Thunder Force. I don't know. It depends on what mood I'm in. We'll possibly do it. But Jupiter's Legacy and Mitchell's versus the Machines next week, and a couple of other ones, whatever comes out new, I'm gonna watch and give you guys my review on it.
Check it out, Jupiter. That looks good.
Enjoy the show. I hope you guys had a great time. We enjoyed bringing the show to you. Martin, I'm glad you came on the show. Is there anything you want to advertise or let us know before we go, Martin?
No, like I said in the beginning of the video, if people want to check out like my DeviantArt page, press M for Animal, as well as Twitch and YouTube, they can do that. Like I said, I'm working as a freelancer doing some artworks, plus I'm working on the book. And like I said, I'm just going to show one more time, not all the artworks, but the example, like what I'm working with. I'm just two of them. I'm working with these type of artwork. It's not done yet, but
awesome.
And I'm also gonna try. I'm not sure, maybe not this one, but I'm gonna try to print some limited editions artworks with my signature on. If people really want some of my artwork, of course, I only like to share, or not share, but sell, or maybe share too. But like the ones I'm most proud of artwork. So I make a little bit of everything, but mostly just like, these gnarly artworks, like SpongeBob and Ren and Stimpy type art style. But there are some pinups and there are some landscape too I'm working on as well. So I'm a little bit serious too, but most it goes for these type of artworks though. That's my main number one most main focus though. So if people want to check out the artwork on DeviantArt, it's on the same. I'm using Press M for Animal, and I hope people, and if people want some requests for me to do drawing, I can try to get some time to do that for free, a little bit for a limited time. If people want that though, just let me know in the comment section.
Okay. All right. Well, later on, possibly you can give me some links, Martin, and I'll put it in the description so that people can click and go to your stuff, or either reach out to you however you want to do it. Do you have an Instagram, Martin?
No.
You should make one. That's where you can post a lot of your pictures at.
Yeah, I know. I need to try to get into this technology phone and all that.
Yeah, you do. That's the only way you're going to succeed. You got to stay on the cusp of innovation. That's the only way you're going to make it, bro. Kenny, anything you want to advertise?
Shit, you can find me on Instagram, King_Patriarch. He got pictures of action figures, busted up gloves, weapons of all sorts, and screenshots from RTX 3090, which is hard to find these days, and I got one on me, so I've been taking some screenshots and playing games with it. And hell, folks want to watch me play with my ding ding, hit me on fucking OnlyFans account Kenny. Watch me play with my dick. $5 for dick pictures, $10 to watch me nut, and $20 to watch me nut and audio.
Maybe if you have a sex change operation, then maybe I'll show up. But
Martin said maybe I'll show up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know me. You can catch me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm everywhere. Ain't nothing special about me. But I hope we guys gave you a wonderful show today. I'm about to go in here and have a tall woman chase. No, I already killed her. I already killed that boss. But finish up possibly some Resident Evil, hang out with Martin, talk to Kenny, and see what's going on. Get ready for tomorrow. Oh, man, it's almost going on 12 o'clock. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Be sure to like us, comment, subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Twitch. Check us out on everywhere. We're everywhere, And please check out the new gaming channel we have on YouTube. It's called TOUGHNERDTOYS Gaming. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys had a great time. Let me know if there's some movies or action figures you want me to review. I will give you my honest opinion. I may not agree with yours, but I will give you my honest opinion. All right? So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Had a great weekend. Hope you have a great week. Stay blessed. Stay safe. We love you guys. Mwah.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.